42.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Well, he took out the MasterChef competition on the tally last year, Brett McGregor, and he's as part of the prize, he had to put out a book, and it's just been released. It is called Taste of a Traveller, and Brett joins us in the Kiwi studio this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And I've said off here, but congratulations for winning last year.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Man, you must be completely chuffed. Now, this was a prize, a book would be published, but something we were just talking about just before was that, well, not everyone would have a book immediately inside them, would they?
No, but I think, luckily enough, I had always wanted to write a book, and when I've done quite a lot of travelling, and so over the years, if I liked something, I would knock on the kitchen door, order it again, learn that recipe, and then take that, in a little notebook with me off on the rest of my travels. So,
how much travelling did you do?
I would say all up about 14 years.
Around Europe?
Yeah, around Europe and Asia, and non-stop really. Even my son, he's 7 and he's done 3.5 years worth already as well. So. And
you were chefing along the way?
No, I was teaching through some of that. I was a teacher and then came back to New Zealand, became a deputy principal of a school in Christchurch.
But was chefing always sort of there in the background?
Well, when I was young, I kind of grew up wanting to cook, watching, obviously the family cooking and stuff like that. So it was always something that I really wanted to do. I even had a stint when I was about 13, washing dishes in a restaurant, and thought that I would become a chef. But it just never eventuated. So life's done a full circle.
Yeah.
And I've come back.
And so MasterChef really has given you that opportunity.
Yeah, I think MasterChef not only gave me the opportunity, it just kind of rekindled that feeling of wanting to do it as a job, as a career. To me, it's definitely not like working. What
was more challenging? Was it taking part in MasterChef or putting out this book, do you think?
I would say fairly similar, really, but the stress of the show is pretty heavy, and that's because before a challenge sometimes you could be all in a small room for 5 hours. What are we going to do? What do you think the challenge is going to be? And then they finally unleash you into the kitchen and you're completely frazzled. And the book, if I felt frazzled, I could move away and walk away, have a cup of coffee, come back and redo it.
Yeah.
But lots of cooking. I've cooked those dishes so many times that I probably won't do some of them again.
Right. So you wouldn't have to eat them all yourself, I suppose. That would
my
be good
family. Well, it's actually stuff that we eat during the week at home.
Yeah.
It's just there's no real fancy stuff. It's just really accessible food.
Everything from roast lamb to baked snapper to a chicken tagine, and just everything's in there, isn't it?
Yeah,
right across the board.
Yeah, I've concentrated pretty much on Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Spain, and Morocco. So some of my favourite dishes from those countries, and just tried to put them. I just chose out the ones that I like the most, and the ones that maybe my family members liked.
How do you be original?
I think it's you've got to think of yourself as an architect, because with food, most things have been done.
Yeah.
So
like your roast lamb, A
roast lamb's been done, yep. So what I do is I've taken flavours that I like and kind of tried to change, I know that there's a roast lamb that I've based on Morocco, and in the rub for there is a lot of, sumac and turmeric and stuff like that. And it just gives it a different flavour, slightly different taste, and that's what travelling and I think food is all about, because in New Zealand we've got such a young culture that we're taking the things that we like from many other cultures to develop our own food, and I think the book's a bit of a celebration of that.
What's your death row dish?
Oh, I would say it'd have to be my northern Thailand jungle curry would have to be in there.
Yeah.
Just simply because it's a fairly simple dish to create, and it is really delicious.
Do you like heat in your...
I love heat.
Yeah.
Yep, love it.
Even
my son's starting to get into it.
You're like our guest a little bit later on the show. He's trying to grow the hottest chili in the world right here in New Zealand.
I would love to have met him.
From the Hokianga. Which surprises me that we can grow really good chilies here in New Zealand. You don't associate this where we are.
Yeah, you don't. I think, I'm growing lemongrass in Christchurch, and that's the kind of thing, you just don't think you can actually do because of the climate. But, if you look after stuff.
Are you passionate about growing your own food?
Yeah, well, I only have a small section in Christchurch, and from our planter boxes we grow all of our herbs.
Did your place come out all right?
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of damage, but we're still standing, so,
yeah.
Compared to a lot of others, it's,
There's a lot of people's, because we talk about the houses and stuff, but their gardens, have been destroyed as well with the liquefaction of.
Look, I've heard of stories of liquefaction over a metre high in people's houses and backyards. There's a guy 20 houses down from me. It came straight through his garage floor.
Yeah.
New house.
Yeah.
House broken half.
Do you want to set up a restaurant?
I am planning a move to Auckland. Because to be closer to work. So yes, there is a restaurant on the cards.
Get out of Dodge.
Yeah, I think my family's pretty keen. My wife's pretty keen. She's a Cantabrian, so for her to want to leave is a big thing. I'm from Taranaki, so for me it's probably not so
sure.
bad. But there is a restaurant on the cards in the future. I just want to make sure that I can give patrons of the restaurant a perfect meal and a good experience. So until I feel 100% confident that I can deliver that every time, I'm not going to do it. Not going to open a restaurant. So I can see it's coming. I'm a lot better now than what I was when I finished the show. I think my cooking is 10 times better. So now it's just about learning everything else that goes on in a restaurant.
What do you like in the kitchen? Are you a hot-tempered person? Are you kind?
That's a really good question, because I think at times I'm kind. That's probably the teacher coming out of me. But to be honest, I have high expectations, not only on myself but on things getting done around me. So I would say if things weren't going to plan, I could get a little hot-headed. But other than that, I'd be pretty cruisy.
Yeah. Looking further into the future, is it all about building now, do you think, your own personal brand?
Yeah, I think I've tried really hard to do that over the past 12 months. I really want this to continue. When you really love something, it's not like working, and that's what cooking is to me.
Yeah.
I'm a home cook. I'm not a chef yet, so there's lots to learn. But yeah, it's an awesome journey.
How do you be a chef then?
I think you've got to go and train for 3 years and do some hard yards.
Put out this damn book.
I have put out the book.
It seems almost insulting to go and
Well, see, I find it insulting that I would be called a chef, because I don't want to insult chefs.
Okay.
Because they're the ones that.
But you're a master chef.
I'm a master chef, yes, but it's a reality TV show.
It's not master cook. It's not the master cook show, is it?
No, but for me, I even find it hard to put on the chef jacket when I'm doing demonstrations for that simple reason. It's just, for me, once I've got the respect of the chef world, that's really important to me.
So are you studying at the moment?
I have been studying with a chef in Christchurch called Johnny Swash. So I go in there quite often, and we've become really good friends, and he's started to teach me classic cooking techniques. So yeah, I've had a lot of learning, not just from Johnny, but from other chefs in Christchurch. So that's why I said my cooking's a lot better now, and I think it packs a lot more flavour.
Yeah.
So that's a craft that you can only learn through time, and that's why I'm not a chef yet. I'm still a home cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not something you can learn overnight, but it's not a difficult thing. It's just time.
One thing, because I've seen a few of the MasterChef programs, and someone presents their dish, and they appear to be happy with it, then the judges aren't. Do you think that as a competitor, at the end of the day why the judges aren't happy with something? Like, you actually know in your heart, you go, well, actually, you are right. It was over-salted.
Yeah, I think when you put a dish up, you know if you've done a good job or not. And you can see that in the faces of the other contestants. If you felt good and comfortable with your dish, then you knew you were going to be okay. But if you thought there was one thing wrong, then they would pick up on that one thing. And,
so translating that into sort of real life cooking, as a cook or a chef, if you took a dish and you didn't taste any good, then you should know that people eating it will also think the same. Yeah,
totally. I put up a dish during the show called it was a soup during the Chinese challenge, which I had no ginger and garlic for. And I knew the soup tasted bad, but I thought, oh, well, maybe they'll taste something else. Under stress, sometimes you don't taste properly. So I knew it was bad, put it up anyway, and got absolutely slammed for it. So if you know and you're going to do the competition and that happens, don't put it up.
Yeah. So in the end, if you're cooking at home, whatever, you're cooking one of these dishes out of the book, and it doesn't taste right to you, the chef, then it definitely is not going to taste right to the people that you serve it up. So
exactly.
Yeah. Always trust your own instinct.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. And with salt and things like that, I think salting is a really, really important thing, because if you season your meal properly, you taste it over your whole mouth.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. If you don't season it properly, you feel like something's missing from the dish. So what I do is I take a little bit out, a little bit of seasoning, have a taste.
Yeah.
If that works and it tastes great, season the whole lot.
Cool. That's a great tip. And all the recipes are in the book.
Yeah.
Go and check it out. Proudest punch on the front there as well. Brett McGregor, New Zealand's first master chef, master cook. Taste of a Traveller is the name of the book. Go and get it. It is out now. Thanks so much for coming on in and joining us here in the Kiwi studio.
No worries. Thank you very much.